2017 to order. I'd ask the clerk to call the roll.
Commissioners Berman,
Here.
Bowman,
Here.
Crawford,
Here.
Dwyer,
Here.
Fleming, Gershenson. Gershenson, I know is here. We'll come back. Gingell,
Here.
Hoffman, Jackson, Kokendorfer,
Here.
Kowal, Long,
Here.
McGilvray,
Here.
Middleton,
Here.
Quarles, Spiz,
Present.
Taub, Teets, Weipert,
Here.
Woodward, Zach,
Here.
Gershenson,
Here.
Woodward, still not here. Okay, you have a quorum.
Thank you very much. This morning, our invocation will be given by the Honorable Tom Middleton from Clarkston, and I'd ask Commissioner Middleton to come forward. I'd ask that you'd all please stand for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Commissioner Middleton.
On this beautiful Sunday morning, we gather together intent on doing good work. We seek to represent fairly and well those who have given us the task of being Oakland County Commissioners. May our efforts be blessed with insight, guided by understanding and wisdom. We seek to serve with respect for all. May our personal faith give us strength to act honestly and well in all matters before us. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm going to remind you guys next time. You gotta get that. Huh?
We'll now move on to the minutes of July 19th, 2017. I'll take a motion to approve the minutes, moved by Dwyer, supported by McGilvray. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Minutes have been approved. Now on to the approval of the agenda for today, and for that I'll call on the Majority Caucus Chair, Commissioner Shelley Taub. Commissioner Taub.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have two amendments to make. The first one is General Government Committee. Item B, MR 17222, Board of Commissioners support of SB 0274 and opposed HB 4601, amend Public Act 368 of 1978 Public Health Code, and we're going to waive Rule 3. The resolution was taken up by the General Government Committee immediately prior to today's meeting, and we're going to put that as agenda item B on General Government. Okay? The next change is C, Board of Commissioners Library Board appointments, and we're going to make that C on the General Government regular agenda, not the consent agenda as the first one was. Appointments were taken up by the General Government Committee immediately prior to today's meeting. With those two amendments, I'd like to move the agenda as amended.
So I have a motion by Taub, supported by Quarles. Just a quick question on the agenda. So the one item regarding the Senate and House bill goes on as a consent agenda item. The Library Board appointments will go on as a regular agenda item.
That's
so right now we didn't have any GG items. Now we will have one.
one.
Correct.
And
Okay.
it will be labeled C.
And I may have it, but Mike, if you have a copy of
I'll
the
get it.
resolution for
I
the
did it.
appointments, you'll get it? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. So we have a minute agenda that's been proposed. We have support. Any other discussion? Seeing none, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
On the agenda as amended, Commissioners Bowman,
Yes.
Crawford, Dwyer,
Yes.
Fleming,
Yes.
Gershenson,
Yes.
Gingell,
Yes.
Hoffman,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Kokendorfer,
Yes.
Kowal, Long,
Yes.
McGilvray,
Yes.
Middleton,
Yes.
Quarles, Spiz,
Yes.
Taub,
Yes.
Teets,
Yes.
Weipert,
Yes.
Woodward, still not here, Zach,
Yes.
Berman. Mr. Chair, you have 20 yeas, 0 nays.
20 yeas, 0 nays. The amended agenda has been approved, and that'll bring us to the communication portion of our agenda. And this is the time we get the opportunity to recognize unique and important people within the community and organizations that are working within our county to do great things for our constituents. And today we have the opportunity to recognize one of those organizations. If you're following the agenda, you'll see that we have two proclamations, but we have removed the first one due to the fact that the individual won't be able to make it. So we will start with the proclamation that's listed second here today. And for that proclamation, I'd like to call up Commissioners Jackson and Bowman to the podium, and I will also join you for the proclamation. So Commissioner Jackson and Bowman, come forward, please.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you. It's my pleasure this morning, and we are so honored today to recognize 100 years of service to our community that the United Way of Southeast Michigan has provided, and also to their present CEO and leader, Dr. Herman Gray. For the last century, the United Way has been steadily at work pulling together collaborations, strengthening the social safety net, and delivering services to help those throughout Oakland County and the Tri-County area. They were one of the main supporters of our Women's Alliance in Oakland County, Getting Women to Work programs. From addressing food security issues in our region to supporting energy assistance, the United Way has been a leader. From improving education for children to developing job skills to help people gain better jobs. United Way has been a leader. United Way has been a strong partner in making our communities better. And under the leadership the United Way has embodied in its organizational development is Dr. Herman Gray, who assumed the CEO role of United Way in the fall of 2015. Dr. Gray, please come up with us. Thank you.
All right, and as we bring up Mr. Gray himself, I get an opportunity actually to say some actually even interpersonal items about this remarkable gentleman here. And I know Mr. Gray beyond being a leader and a director and CEO of DMC's, former CEO of DMC's hospital, and his lifetime commitment to children and community health and well-being. But this is a father and a leader and a husband and a friend to many. And I'd even like to say a friend to myself as well. His leadership has taken the United Way to the next level of being that essential connective tissue and leveraging all of community resources to make sure that all kids get enough to eat, struggling families can pay their electric bills, and that all our neighborhoods can be stronger. It really is a testament to those in our community that see a need, fill that need with the resources and focused ingenuity that helps build our communities. And despite all the major accomplishments that Dr. Gray may be the most humble man that I have ever met. He understands that success of an organization is a result of incredible staff, of which some he's brought today, who are able and willing to partner with, stand with, and support those at the front line of making our communities better. And for that, we thank you very much. Thank you.
So we actually have a proclamation here today that we'd like to present to you, and I probably read some of it, but maybe not all of it, and we'll make some comments. So this proclamation is for the United Way of Southeastern Michigan. Whereas in 1917, United Way for Southeastern Michigan, then known as the Detroit Community Union, was established as the region's unifier, conveying the power of public, private, and nonprofit partners to better serve the community. Whereas although the name has changed throughout the subsequent 100 years, the organization's core mission to mobilize the caring power of Southeast Michigan to improve communities and individual lives in measurable and lasting ways has remained the same. Whereas United Way for Southeast Michigan advances the quality of life for residents and families throughout the Tri-County area by investing in programs that impact lives of children and adults, such as a 211, which serves as a lifeline for hundreds of thousands of individuals each year, and through the funding and support of partner agency services. Whereas we respect and share United Way for Southeast Michigan's guiding principles to be just, tenacious, collaborative, engaged, and accountable. Whereas the people of Oakland County recognize United Way for Southeastern Michigan as a valued community asset with a proven history of living its values and inspiring others to serve. Now, therefore, I, Michael J. Gingell, Chairman of the Oakland County Board of Commissioners, together with Commissioners David Woodward, Janet Jackson, David Bowman, and the entire Board of County Commissioners, do hereby proclaim commendation to United Way Southeast Michigan for their countless contributions and service to the communities within Oakland, Macomb, and Wayne counties. We congratulate them on the important milestone of 100 years of service, attested the August 10th, 2017. Dr. Gray, congratulations. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here, and you've been really very kind. It's not about me; it's about United Way and the people that we are privileged to serve. Mr. Chair, certainly thank you very much, Commissioners Jackson and Bowman. We're grateful for your support, and to all of you all for this proclamation. I am a pediatrician by training, and I thought, I've often said that I thought that the capstone of my career was to lead the Children's Hospital of Michigan in downtown Detroit for about 9 years. And somehow or another, these folks found me. It wasn't part of my master plan at all. And it's been really an outstanding opportunity to lead such a historic and iconic and impactful organization. I am also an Oakland County resident. I've lived in West Bloomfield for more than 30 years. As one of the largest nonprofits in our state, our United Way takes on some of the most challenging issues that face our communities, working to ensure good health, quality education, and economic prosperity for all. Our work at United Way always starts with and lives in the community. We learn about the challenges from the community, identify broken systems, support partner agencies to create change, and strive to engage all through giving, advocating, and volunteering. Last year alone, our community investment in Southeast Michigan totaled $46 million. Here in Oakland County, United Way has made investments in Southfield, Lathrop Village, Birmingham, Auburn Hills, Pontiac, Wixom, Lyon Township, Commerce Township, Walled Lake, Troy, Farmington Hills, Farmington, Madison Heights, West Bloomfield Township, Oak Park, Royal Oak, Berkeley, Rochester, Rochester Hills, and Sylvan Lake. We directly support 30 partner agencies within Oakland County, which provide a variety of direct services to our residents. These include Oakland Family Services, the Accounting Aid Society, Forgotten Harvest, Samaritan Home, Yad Ezra, Salvation Army, Lighthouse, and many more. We have 3 pillars of our work, and I will just take a couple minutes: education, health, and economic prosperity. In the area of health and basic needs, over 200,000 meals were served to kids in need last year at 115 United Way sites, including schools, parks, places of worship, and local nonprofits in Oakland County alone. Our 211 call center service provides referrals to programs for those who are in need in 6 counties via phone, chat, email, and online database. This unparalleled service contains a database of 30,000 different statewide and regional programs and is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. In 2016, over 20,000 calls came directly from Oakland County residents. 70% of those calls were specific to utility assistance, shelter and housing, and food assistance. Secondly, in the area of education and early childhood, we're working to make sure that kids get the right start in life by supporting their first teachers, parents, and their caregivers. Some of you probably know that roughly 50% of the children in our communities enter kindergarten unprepared and not ready. And this is a significant signpost for later failure in life. Working with our partners hand in hand, we have provided trainings, peer networks, learning materials, child safety items, etc., to more than 3,500 parents and caregivers. These programs provide kids with long-term, substantial positive effects on their social behavior, academic achievement, and job performance. And lastly, in the education arena, our high school work. what we call college and career readiness. In 2008, United Way began our high school turnaround initiative after a report was published that identified dropout factories across our country and how we were failing children, particularly in urban settings. And so we began this work, which focused on a set of historically low-performing schools with the goal of increasing their high school graduation rates to at least 80%. In 2011, General Motors Foundation granted us the largest grant in their history of $27 million to increase our student reach and impact. And over 5 years, we were able to partner with school leaders in cultivating a positive school culture, made strategic investments in community organizations to ensure that every student had a caring adult to help keep them on track to graduate. In Madison High School in Madison Heights, we raised the graduation rates to 92% from the low 60s, and were successful in achieving higher test scores, improving classroom learning experience, increasing average attendance, reducing chronic absenteeism, and helping to review district policies and resources. And then lastly, in the area of financial stability and economic prosperity, we're dedicated to helping families and hardworking folks of southeastern Michigan become more financially independent and educated. Our Centers for Working Families and Community Financial Centers provide comprehensive services that help families save, build assets, and eventually move from debt to positive net worth and financial independence. Carrying out this mission would not be possible without the financial contributions of many generous donors and workers within the county, probably including some in this room, particularly our hardworking union friends and corporations like FCA, Chrysler, Lear, Borg Warner, Bosch, Delphi, General Dynamics, and many, many more. We have over 1,000 corporations who support us on an annual basis. While we've evolved over time, as the chairman noted, United Way is as focused as ever on ensuring a high quality of life for all people across our community. This centennial celebration is truly in recognition of all of our donors, volunteers, and corporate and community partners who have joined us on this journey for 100 years. We're grateful for the opportunity to continue serving the southeastern Michigan community and particularly Oakland County, and we are very grateful for your support and for this proclamation, and we are humbled and honored by it. Thank you so much.
Others that want to come up, feel free.
Once in a lifetime opportunity to picture with Herman Gray.
Oh, got 10% battery. I charged it, so I didn't charge. I don't know, do you think 10%? 90%, do you have one? Yeah, maybe I'll use it for a minute. Yeah, I should have that. I put it on last night, no. You know what I mean? You don't. I know, that's what I'm thinking. Because I think it makes you, you know. But like, I can't hardly function.
So next up, we have a presentation by another one of our partners throughout Southeast Michigan Council of Governments. And for that, I'd like to first start with Commissioner Weipert, who has been very, very active in SIMCOG on behalf of Oakland County and the board, continues to be very, very active in SIMCOG, and we appreciate his time and service on that organization. So Commissioner Weipert, maybe you can give a little background and welcome the guests that we have here this morning.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Today we have with us Kathleen Lamaco, and Amy Malmer. Kathleen is the executive director of SEMCOG, and Amy is our membership manager. I'd asked them to come up. They're going to do an initiative or a program on new initiatives for southeastern Michigan. And I've asked United Way to stay too, so they might be very interested in what's happening with the southeastern Michigan Council of Governments. So, welcome. And this will be our first use of our new technology.
Okay, well, thank you. I would like to thank the board chair and the board as a whole for having us here today. We always like coming out and talking to our members. With me, With me, as Phil said, is Amy Malmer, who's going to kick off our presentation. I should start by also thanking Phil, who is SEMCOG's first vice chair. And what that means is that next year in June, he will become the chair of SEMCOG. So Phil is both a leader in your organization and ours as well. So with that, Amy's going to kick off our discussion.
Thank you, Kathleen. Good morning. Today we're going to provide an overview of our organization and of our recent planning activities and of our efforts to implement our plans here in Oakland County. To give you a little context of the 7-county region that SEMCOG serves, this map shows you all 7 counties, and you can see obviously our proximity to Canada and to Ohio there in our south. And this map, the yellow shading shows SEMCOG's current members. We're at an all-time high of 172 members. All 7 counties are members, as well as 6 of the 7 intermediate school districts and several community colleges. And just to pause here, part of the reason we've reached our all-time high is that a few Oakland County communities have recently become members, that being the Village of Oxford, Oxford Township, and Rose Township. So I want to thank Commissioner Spiz, who has encouraged SEMCOG membership in his district. We also have interest from Brandon Township and Holly Township, so we're continuing to grow here in Oakland County. In terms of SEMCOG funding, our funding is provided by member dues that we use to match federal and state grants. Each member organization votes to join SEMCOG, pays member dues, and appoints a delegate and alternate to our General Assembly, which is our full membership committee. Now, here in Oakland County, based on the size of the population that Oakland County represents, you actually have 6 delegates and 6 alternates that serve both on our General Assembly and on our executive committee. And among the 12 of you who serve in those positions at SEMCOG, Commissioner Weipert is very active, as Kathleen just mentioned, and Commissioner Spiz was also recently reelected to the Transportation Coordinating Council, where he serves as the vice chair of that group. So we thank you for your leadership. Membership at SEMCOG is organizational, so all of you, even beyond the 12 delegates and alternates, are welcome to attend and participate in our meetings, take advantage of our training programs, call on our staff for data and information that will help you make decisions here in the county. Additionally, you're welcome to join our committees and task forces where much of our work is done. These are somewhat smaller group meetings than the large General Assembly meetings, and at those task force and committee levels, we also invite participation from the private sector, from nonprofit sectors, from other stakeholders in the various issues that we deal in. So we're bringing in other expertise beyond the expertise that we have in our local government members. As an example, we're currently working to update our water resources plan. The development of this plan is guided through a 60-person task force that is chaired by Orion Township Supervisor Chris Barnett. Commissioner Gershenson, as well as 2 representatives from Oakland County's Water Resources Commission, serve on this task force. And other representatives on the task force include the Road Commission for Oakland County, Southfield, Rochester Hills, Huntington Woods, Auburn Hills, and the Clinton River Watershed Council. The plan is taking a broad look at water issues such as water infrastructure, including drinking water, sanitary sewer, and stormwater, natural resources such as invasive species and wetlands, and the blue economy, which includes water placemaking, recreation, tourism, and access to our water resources. While policy direction for SEMCOG occurs at the regional level through participation in the kinds of committees and task forces I just mentioned, implementation primarily occurs at the local level through actions taken by local governments. We work on issues related to transportation, environment, and economic development. And high-quality data is the foundation of all of that work. While much of that data is available on our website, by being members, you have access to the people who are compiling the data and who are available to you to conduct analysis based on your specific needs. Our website is only one way to get the information. Stephanie Taylor on the screen here is the other way. She staffs SEMCOG's Information Center and is eager to provide you with information to answer your questions. So please feel free to contact Stephanie at the contact information on the screen there. The newest data available from SEMCOG includes our recently released 2045 forecast, which projects the future economic and demographic outlook for Southeast Michigan. Key takeaways from the forecast include modest population growth in the region of about 8% from the year 2015 to 2045, and that's compared to a 21% growth rate nationally for that same time frame. As we also will experience moderate employment in growth, about 6% during that period. So as part of the forecast, we conducted a few different scenarios, including the baseline forecast that I was just talking about. And the different alternatives show how our employment would be impacted by various economic forces. We looked at 3 scenarios, and what they tell us is that auto manufacturing remains critically important to Southeast Michigan. It's going to be important to continue diversifying our economy, and that we need to continue to leverage our strength in professional services. Later this year, we'll be hosting outreach meetings throughout the region in each county, including here in Oakland County, to look at these numbers at the local level. So once we've got those meetings scheduled, we'd value getting your input into the forecast. As I mentioned, much of our data is available on our website. A popular new feature that we have is an interactive mapping tool, which allows you to zoom into specific locations in the region and receive customized data on a wide range of topics, including traffic crashes shown here, traffic volumes, and commuting patterns. These tools allow you and the public to access data relevant to your local area. Another new data resource is our Park Finder. As you can see, it includes over 2,600 of the region's parks, and the map is searchable by location, park size and type, and by amenities such as water recreation, sports and games, trails, and fitness. In the year ahead, we'll be convening a task force to look at coordination and regional gaps in our parks, trails, and recreation network. We'll be looking for local practitioners and elected officials from across the region to serve on the task force and shape our priorities and policies related to parks. So consider that opportunity and pass that along to others who may have interest. At this point, Kathleen is going to present some of our regional plans and how they're being implemented here in the county.
Thanks, Amy. SEMCOG develops, as many of you know, the region's transportation plan. This plan prioritizes spending on the region's roads, transit, walking and biking trails to the tune of about $1 billion per year. These transportation projects are critical to preserving jobs in the economy, moving goods, services, and freight. We work closely with the Road Commission to collect, share, and analyze data on traffic counts, pavement conditions, and traffic crashes, all of which help us prioritize projects within the county and within the greater SEMCOG region. We're currently in the process of developing the next transportation plan, looking out to the year 2045, and we're in the process of seeking input. We recently launched an interactive tool on our website to obtain vital feedback on improving the region's transportation system. It asks for information on your priorities and asks respondents to pinpoint on map problem areas for us to be aware of. No one knows the community better than the people that live and travel within the community. In order to hear local priorities directly from residents on the future of the transportation system, SEMCOG is going to be hitting the road in September, and we're going to once again be visiting all 7 counties. We're going to be in Oakland County on September 26th for 2 input sessions, the first one at 1:30 in the afternoon and the second one at 6 p.m. So I'm asking all of you to help us and share these dates and times to encourage your constituents to attend. The Regional Transportation Plan is implemented through the Transportation Improvement Program. The TIP is a collection of projects funded for the next few years. As an example, this map shows completed TIP projects in Oakland County over the last 3 years. It also indicates that $615 million in projects are included in the TIP for 2017 through 2020. Recently, we've completed a number of major regional plans, including traffic safety, bicycle and pedestrian travel, green infrastructure, and economic development. The Road Commission and multiple communities from within the county participated in the development of the region's traffic safety plan. It is designed to improve road safety and guide investment in safety projects in our region. And specifically, it benchmarks traffic crashes and identifies problem areas. And it also includes strategies to address these key issues. To assist local efforts, SEMCOG analyzes and shares crash data in usable and easy to understand formats. Shown here is a crash location map that includes all crashes in the region between 2012 and 2016, and you can sort this by crash severity as well as key factors that influence the accident, including alcohol, young driver, pedestrian and bicyclist. The information we have available at the regional level, but it's also available at the county, and you can zoom in at the community level. One of the main safety concerns identified through our safety work is increasing crashes involving pedestrians and bicyclists. In fact, over the last 5 years, crashes involving these vulnerable road users accounted for fewer than 2% of all traffic crashes. However, they accounted for 28% of all fatalities. We believe there's a role for all of us to play to increase safety in the region, so we've created a new safety education campaign called Walk, Bike, Drive Safe, focused especially on bicycle and pedestrian safety. The message is simple: no matter if you walk, bike, or drive, your responsibility is to be seen, be safe, and be aware. As community leaders, we're asking you to share these messages. We've got safety messages and materials available for display, so we want you to be a part of sharing these important messages with the public. Speaking of walking and biking, SEMCOG also developed a plan focusing on improving bicycle and pedestrian travel, which includes an inventory of facilities, prioritized regional corridors, and regional strategies and action items that SEMCOG, MDOT, road commissions, communities, and others can take to enhance walking and biking. One of our major priorities in implementing this plan is to enhance connectivity and fill gaps in our regional trail system, especially those that provide access to parks, downtowns, and other regionally significant destinations. The development of the Iron Belt Trail is one of those regionally significant projects. In Oakland County, the Iron Belt Trail utilizes the Clinton River, Paint Creek, and Pollyanna trails. Filling regionally significant gaps in our system and providing technical assistance to communities looking to enhance walking and biking are among the priorities of the plan. The Transportation Alternatives Program administered by SEMCOG is a major source of funding for these types of projects. Pictured here are 4 projects in Oakland County funded through the Transportation Alternatives Program. We're also working to implement our green infrastructure vision. Green infrastructure includes parks, lakes, wetlands, trees, as well as constructed green roofs, bioswales, and rain gardens. There are numerous examples of where green infrastructure projects have been implemented in the county. The top 2 images are in Southfield, where the city recently installed bioswales at Inglenook Park and a rain garden along Evergreen Road that captures and filters rainfall. The bottom left is at Riverside Park in Auburn Hills, which includes a constructed stormwater wetland, and the Detroit Zoo's parking lot that includes permeable pavement that allows natural absorption of water beneath the pavement. Our next plan is our economic development strategy, and it provides a framework for public and private entities across Southeast Michigan to work together to increase our region's prosperity. Focus areas of the plan include community assets, talent and innovation, and business climate. Earlier this month, we hosted a gathering of economic development representatives from across the region to discuss accomplishments and implementation priorities. We specifically heard from Dan Hunter on the county's Connected Vehicle Task Force and on the county's economic development efforts related to business retention, attraction, and expansion, and the issue of attracting talent. We also heard from the city of Southfield on their strategic response to the changing retail and commercial redevelopment landscape, especially as it relates to the Northland Mall and the city center developments in Southfield. Another way we work to implement the plan is through our STEM and Skilled Trades initiative. We're building awareness and interest and appreciation for skilled trades and technical careers to meet employer needs and the changing demands of the economy. For example, we support Manufacturing Day in Southeast Michigan, where in Oakland County over 28 school districts participate. Our most recent activity supporting our economic development strategy is the recently approved education reform recommendations. The overarching goal is to provide every child access to an aligned, high-quality education from early childhood through post-secondary attainment to prepare for academic success and career success. There are several recommendations covering the categories shown on the screen here. And I should note that Phil Bertolini and representatives from Oakland schools were members of this task force. As you know, there are times when successful implementation of plans requires that changes be made at the state and federal levels. SEMCOG works with our members to advocate for legislative priorities of the region. You amplify your voice by participating in regional advocacy efforts. Our current focus is on increasing revenues for local government, support for the Great Lakes, and increasing infrastructure investment. Recent successes include the governor's selection of SEMCOG to conduct a pilot program identifying the location and condition of water, sewer, and stormwater infrastructure and combining that information with above-ground infrastructure such as roads and bridges. On the regulatory side, SEMCOG is serving on 2 Department of Environmental Quality rulemaking committees that are considering rule changes on drinking water standards and on sanitary sewer permitting. I want to call your attention to a couple of upcoming events. The Regional Parks Tour that we're hosting is going to be on October 24th. The tour departs from our offices and will include stopping at the Detroit International Wildlife Refuge, Lake Erie Metro Park, the River Raisin National Battlefield, and we'll be also driving through downtown Monroe, which is celebrating its bicentennial year. Our next General Assembly will take place on Thursday, October 19th at Cranbrook Institute of Science in Bloomfield Hills. As Amy mentioned, you're all invited to these or any of our meetings. This is the 2nd year in a row of a new format for the Fall General Assembly. We'll begin with a self-guided tour of the museum, a strolling lunch in the exhibit space, followed by a general session and afternoon workshops, focus both on elected officials and administrators. Workshops will focus on water, sewer, and stormwater infrastructure, transportation safety and technology, the 2045 Regional Transportation Plan, economic development, and education. We hope you will consider joining us for this important and informative gathering. In closing, I want to thank you again for your time today and for Oakland County's active participation, both from the elected people in the community as well as from the staff. And at this point, I'd be open to answer any questions, should you have any.
I think it looks like you covered a lot of it. And again, as you mentioned, we have Commissioner Spiz and Wiper who are active, and they keep us informed on the activities of SIMCOG. And obviously, from what we've seen today and what we know, you're doing a lot of great and important things for Oakland County and for the region. So I would say thank you for coming out and for the update, and keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. I know we have just a couple other items in communications. So I want to call on Commissioner Fleming.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd just like to take this opportunity to welcome a couple of special guests we have from the Troy area League of Women Voters today. We have Karen Fabian here and Pam Brady. And Pam's husband Mike's here driving them, taking good care of them as well. The Troy Area League of Women Voters does an excellent job of communicating to voters and making them aware of the issues, nonpartisan, and they've just been great to have as a wonderful resource in the Troy area. So thank you for coming and taking your time, and look forward to meeting with you after this meeting. Thank you.
And we're fortunate to have a number of special guests on a regular occasion, and I see one other gentleman out there. I guess I should say it's Eileen Kowal's husband, but probably more appropriate to say our Senator Kowal from the 15th District. I just appreciate you coming out to our meeting today, so welcome. Thank you. Madam Clerk, are there any other communications to come before us this morning?
Yep, we have a couple this morning, Mr. Chair. The first is dated June 15th, 2017, from Marcia Gershenson. In part reads, Dear Chairman Gingell, I recently returned from the International Women's Forum, incredible global conference in Stockholm, Sweden. Some of the conference highlights were learning about the philosophy of Sweden's tech center. They are the second most productive city behind Silicon Valley in IT. In Sweden, the government subsidizes young entrepreneurs while they try to monetize their business ideas. We also heard from experts on branding and how to grow e-commerce. Chuing Kun Hien, the CEO of Housing and Development in Singapore, talked about how their country produced and maintained over 1 million well-designed sustainable housing units for their residents. Thank you again for encouraging me to attend this conference. Sincerely, Commissioner Marcia Gershenson. In another communication dated August 10th, 2017, to the Oakland County Board of Commissioners, ladies and gentlemen, please be advised of the following changes to the SEMCOG appointments. Marcia Gershenson, the current delegate, will become the alternate, and David Bowman, the current alternate, will become the delegate. Their term will remain December 31st, 2018. Your confirmation of this change is respectfully requested. Sincerely, Michael J. Gingell, Chairman, Oakland County Board of Commissioners. That's it.
Without objection, we'll receive and file all the communications, and we'll move on to public comment. I don't know if anyone has actually signed up, so no one has signed up this morning for public comment, but if there is someone here that would like to make comment, I'll recognize you at the back microphone and just state your name and address. So seeing none, we'll close public comment and move on to the reports of standing committees, starting with the consent agenda. I'll take a motion to approve the items on the consent agenda, moved by Crawford, supported by Quarles and Zach. Any discussion on those items? Seeing none, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
On the consent agenda, Commissioners Crawford?
Yes.
Dwyer?
Yes.
Fleming?
Yes.
Gershenson? Gingell?
Yes.
Hoffman?
Yes.
Jackson?
Yes.
Kokendorfer?
Yes.
Kowal?
Yes.
Long?
Yes.
McGilvray?
Yes.
Middleton?
Yes.
Quarles?
Yes.
Spiz?
Yes.
Taub?
Yes.
Teets? Whitebert?
Yes.
Zach?
Yes.
Berman?
Yes.
Bowman?
Yes.
Mr. Chair, you have 20 yeas, 0 nays.
20 yeas, 0 nays. The items on the consent agenda have been adopted. We'll now move on to the regular agenda, and we do have 2 committees to come before us, starting with the General Government Committee and the item that was added on this morning as part of the amendment to the agenda. So I'll call on the chairperson of that committee, Commissioner Christine Long. Commissioner Long.
Okay, good morning. First, just one item that we just did before the board. Board of Commissioners, Library Board appointments. The General Government Committee, having considered the appointments on August 10, 2017, hereby recommends to reappoint John Chambers and Lillian Steuben to the Library Board for 5-year terms beginning August 25, 2017 to August 24, 2022. Chairperson, on behalf of the General Government Committee, I move the acceptance of the foregoing report.
Okay, so we'll actually address these appointments in 2 steps. We'll start with the acceptance of the report, and I'll take a motion from Long, supported by McGilvery. All in favor of accepting the report, say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. We accept the report. Now on the appointments themselves, I'll take a motion from Long, supported by McGilvery. Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
On the Library Board appointments, Commissioners Dwyer,
Yes.
Fleming,
Yes.
Gershenson, Gingell,
Yes.
Hoffman,
Yes.
Jackson, Kokendorfer,
Yes.
Kowal, Long,
Yes.
McGilvray,
Yes.
Middleton, Quarles, Spiz,
Yes.
Taub, Teets, Weipert,
Yes.
Zach,
Yes.
Berman, Bowman,
Yes.
Crawford.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, you have 20 yeas, 0 nays.
20 yeas, 0 nays. The appointments have been confirmed. Commissioner Long.
That concludes general government reports today.
Next committee would be Planning and Building, and calling the chairperson of that committee, Commissioner Phil Weipert. Commissioner Weipert.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We have 2 items. First one is miscellaneous resolution regarding Parks and Recreation Commission, Giffords-Webster Engineering Incorporation, lumber material donation. I'd ask to be referred to Finance.
Without objection, refer to the Finance Committee. Commissioner Weipert.
The last item is a miscellaneous resolution. It's regarding Department of Facilities and Management resolution authorizing the Oakland County Building Authority to finance the new Oakland County radio communication system, and I'd ask that be referred to Finance.
Without objection, refer to the Finance Committee. Commissioner Weipert.
That concludes the report of the Planning and Building Committee.
Thank you very much. So we'll move to the remaining items on our agenda. We have no reports of special committees, no special order of business, no unfinished business, but we do have some new and/or miscellaneous business. I know there are some resolutions to be introduced today, so I will call on commissioners as they line up at the microphone at the back. Commissioner Gershenson.
Good morning, and thank you. I'd like to introduce miscellaneous resolution supporting funding for Oakland County Cooperative Lakes Monitoring Program and refer it to GG.
Without objection, refer to the GG Committee. Commissioner Jackson and Quarles.
Hi, Commissioner Quarles and myself are here to present a tri-party road funding for the city of Southfield, reconstruction of Losser Road, and this will be referred to Finance.
Without objection, refer to the Finance Committee. Commissioner Spiz.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On behalf of myself and most of the commissioners here on the board, I'd like to submit a miscellaneous resolution for designated September 11th through 17th, 2017 as Michigan Patriot Week in Oakland County, refer to GG.
Without objection, refer to the General Government Committee. Commissioner Taub.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to make a motion to suspend the rules board rules for immediate consideration of this resolution, and it's Board of Commissioners declaration of August 19th, 2017 as United Way for Southeastern Michigan Centennial Day.
So I know that resolution was sponsored and signed on to, I think, by pretty much every commissioner. So we will take up the item to suspend the rules. It's a non-debatable motion. I'll take a motion by Taub, supported by Jackson, to suspend the rules, and I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
On suspension of the rules, Commissioners Fleming,
Yes.
Gershenson,
Yes.
Gingell,
Yes.
Hoffman,
Yes.
Jackson, Kokendorfer, Kowal, Long,
Yes.
McGilvray,
Yes.
Middleton, Quarles,
Yes.
Spiz,
Yes.
Taub,
Yes.
Teets, Weipert,
Yes.
Zach,
Yes.
Berman,
Yes.
Bowman,
Yes.
Crawford, Dwyer.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, you have 20 yeas, 0 nays.
20 yeas, 0 nays. The rules have been suspended. Now we are able to bring the matter before us. So I'll take a motion by Taub, supported by Jackson. Any other discussion? Seeing none, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll on the resolution.
On the resolution, Commissioners Gershenson? Gingell?
Yes.
Hoffman?
Yes.
Jackson? Kokendorfer?
Yes.
Kowal? Long?
Yes.
McGilvray?
Yes.
Middleton? Quarles? Spiz?
Yes.
Taub?
Yes.
Teets? Whitebert?
Yes.
Zach?
Yes.
Berman? Bowman?
Yes.
Crawford? Dwyer?
Yes.
Fleming?
Yes.
Mr. Chair, you have 20 yeas, 0 nays.
20 yeas, 0 nays, the resolution's been adopted.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Any other new or miscellaneous business to come before us this morning, or any announcements to come before us this morning? Seeing none, I'll announce that we're adjourned to August 23rd, 2017 at 7 p.m., or at the call of the chair. We are adjourned.